Honey, I'm home.
Hi, Sandy.
Philip Sinclair, this is the best day ever. Hi. How are you?
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How about you?
I'm still here.
Do you know that are you in command at all? Yes, no.
Pardon me?
Are you in command?
Pardon me? I didn't hear you.
Are you in the command
Am I
system?
in command?
Yes.
Some.
Because you and Mickey can run a Facebook ad. You have to
I
put it out there.
guess.
A Facebook ad.
I don't know what you
Ask Mickey about it because you can run a Facebook ad for $30 and the office will reimburse you against your $45 office fee. So just ask Mickey about it. I'll tell her to
Oh,
ask
Mickey's
you.
doing that.
I know, but you can do one too, or she can do one.
Okay,
and-
she is doing that.
Okay. I'll check with her too.
Oh, okay, I get it. So we can each do one.
Yeah.
You're frozen.
No, you're frozen.
Wonder if
don't
I have a
think I'm
bad
frozen.
connection.
I think you're frozen, Philip. Because I see everybody else moving around. Annie's moving. Wave,
Must be
Kristen.
me.
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm gonna come back. Bye, y'all.
Okay, bye. See you in a minute. How much fun is that, Annie Guerin, to see that face? Oh, now you're muted. You were not before. Nope, now you're muted. Okay, there you go.
Okay, that was great. What a nice surprise.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Yay.
Hi, Annie Guerin.
See?
Love
There
you.
go.
Love you.
Look at you. What? You look great.
It's my COVID
Your
hair.
hair's getting long.
Yeah.
Oh, your COVID hair? My COVID hair's been cut twice by me.
Wow, that looks pretty
Ooh,
good.
That's ambitious.
Yeah.
I clip it like a stray dog.
We're finally back in
I
the
thought
office.
I wanted to see what was
and
going on in the team meeting.
We're back in the office, and that's exciting for me. Annie, are you coming back anytime soon?
I'm kind of waiting to hear from Van Dyke.
Mm.
If
I
I
need
if I
your-
need to meet with somebody, I'm coming in.
I need your notary services next time you're here. It's not urgent, though.
I can come by anytime for that.
No, it's not urgent. But, listen, I know we're supposed to wear masks in the hallways, but I'm giving hugs where anybody will allow, so don't get near me. Don't get near me or you're getting hugged. Hi, ma'am. Oh, good. Let's see if I can find that. Here without interrupting my voice. There it is. Okay. Thank you.
They didn't send me anything to send out, so I just put it on there and I'll send something else out later.
That's what he said, that
Okay.
Travis would send something.
Cool.
You got it. Oh, Patricia. Hi, Pumpkin. Oh my God.
Beauty.
Well, that brightens my day. What a face. You have cheeks forever. Cheeks forever. Oh my goodness. I know. It's terrible, isn't it? Oh, super sweet. How are you feeling? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's going good. I'm still waiting for Linda to decide what she's gonna do here.
You got that baby in one arm? My gosh. That's a lot of baby. Super cute.
Thank you.
Super cute. All right, we still got 2 minutes, so I'm imagining that folks are going to be joining as we get started, because there's usually 35 or 40 people on, so I'm hoping we will bump up these numbers. So Philip, how are you? Are you going out of the house or you're staying home? You're muted, my friend. Nope, you're muted. You're still muted. I see your lips moving, but you're still muted.
All right,
Hi.
there. How's that?
Okay, much better. Are you staying at home?
I've gone out one time. We went to Lowe's, and I was very concerned about the number of people not wearing masks. So yeah, we don't go out anywhere. We
Yeah,
order
it-
our groceries delivered, and
Yeah,
I have too much to risk.
I agree, honey. I so agree with you. And that is the truth, right? The people, I think once the beaches opened and the playgrounds and all of that stuff, I don't, people are just, well, look at, there's Taylor's fancy KW mask. People definitely are more free with their, no mask wearing and hugs and no gloves. And it's really difficult, right? Because I think that society tells us one thing: you can pick 4 people that you choose to go to dinner with, and you can sit at a small high top table at Bonefish. And then can I pick the same different 4 people that I want to sit in a closing with, or different 4 people that I want to, right? So it's just, it's hard to follow a protocol because it can be all over. So I think that's what's causing people to be more lax in their.
We went and picked my mother up in Georgia, and my mom's 84 years old. So she couldn't take her pills because we told her we would not stop for her to go to the bathroom.
Oh,
And we didn't. And we
wow.
didn't.
That's impressive, man, because I'm not 84 and I got to stop to go to the bathroom on, most
So it
occasions.
depends.
Yeah. Uh-oh, I think I'm on.
Depends. Haha.
Haha. So good. More people are joining us.
Let me buy around, see who all's in here.
Yeah. And more people are coming back to the office, and we're trying to be mindful and wear masks in the common areas. And we have a guy that is going to come and look at our conference room. And the goal is to get him to do a video camera that will shoot down towards the front of the training room so that we can Zoom our meetings. But then also, if you choose to come into the office and participate, you can. So that's coming probably in the next 2 weeks or so. We're getting an estimate for it and getting it approved. So that I'm excited about that, because I think that'll help too with folks that it seems like the people that are here most often are the people that have office space, and then the ones that are not, are the ones that don't. So I think that team meetings, that if we have the ability to do those in person as well as Zoom, we might be getting some additional in-office participation from some folks that usually do come to the office. And please note that if you are inclined to come back into the office and you need office space, we have shared space that is available for about $75 a desk per month. So that's shared space. And then we have one office available that is, I think, just about $200 a month. So if you are looking for office space, we have currently some stuff available so that you can come and be a part of the energy in the room, but not, not have to be in the common areas all the time. So if that's important to you, please reach out. Before we start, in case there are a few other people that are jumping on, I wanted to, because this is not on the agenda and I don't want to forget, Nikki posted a video about the social equality task force. And I want to just make sure that I explain. There are going to be 2 people chosen from our South Florida region. And the South Florida region is made up of 35 market centers. And so there's just going to be 2 people out of all 35 market centers that will be selected to represent the South Florida region on a national or international committee. So if you choose to go out for a nomination to be on that large task force, you can do that. But we need to have some letters of recommendation. The OP or team leaders have to write a letter of recommendation, and you have to answer 3 questions, and that is due on Thursday at 3. So if you have any interest in going out for the regional position on the task force, please reach out to me today so we can start that process. if you want to be on our local task force, which is going to be similar to the culture committee where
I might move just in case. You never know.
Travis, mute yourself, my love. If you choose to be on our local task force, then it will be a group of 5, 7, whatever, 8 people that's similar to our culture committee that will meet monthly or quarterly to talk about what we can do in our community and in our office to better be sure that we are, serving everyone's needs and that we are, really adhering to a social equality in the office. So if you want to be on the local committee, let me know. And that we have more time for, but if you have any interest in being a nominee for the regional, which is going to be the 2 people selected, please reach out to me today because that's got to be in by 3 o'clock on Thursday and we need to do some letters of recommendation. So please reach out if that's something that you're interested in as well. All right, I am going to quickly share my screen, probably just for a minute. For our team meeting today on June the 10th, if you can believe it's already June the 10th. And our sponsor of this team meeting today is Simple Photo. And I'm super excited to talk to you guys about this because this is a company that Travis Lockett and Chris Rogers have started along with a couple of other people, family members that are photographers, to better serve at an affordable price the real estate community. I don't know how many of you were on the call. I'm going to go back and quit share my screen just because they're going to jump on. I don't know how many of you were on the Inman Connect call with Gary Keller the other day, but I was fortunate to see Rich Barton, who is the CEO of Zillow, on first during that call. And one of the big things that he talked about is that Zillow is in a race to produce some opportunities for sellers to do a better virtual open house or tours or just better virtual showings, things like that. And that's because that's the way the world's going. Even when things go back to more even normal than they are now, sellers and buyers are going to expect that the digital presentation that you bring to the table is of high quality. And if we want to say that we are digitally enhanced, physically, digitally driven and physically enhanced agents, then we have to pose that out to them too by not taking pictures with our cell phones of our listings, right? So Travis and Chris know this at a high level, and they have seen an opportunity to bring that product to market at a reasonable cost for real estate agents. And so they've developed this company. So they're sponsoring the team meeting today. They're going to share with you a little bit about their offerings. And then the crazy thing is that they're actually going to do a drawing. So there are 33 people on the call right now. All 33 people are going to be put into a bucket, and Taylor's going to randomly draw at the end, and they're going to give a free package for their services to one of you guys for your next listing. So super excited about that. And I think that's all I got. You can take it away, Travis. And if you guys go to speaker view, you know, up in the top of your screen on the right, you can say speaker view instead of gallery view. And that will give Travis and Chris is speaking a bigger screen, because I believe that they're going to do some demonstration. So jump in there, do speaker view, and pay attention, because this is a product that they're bringing to us that I think you're going to want to hear about.
Hey everyone, Travis Lockett here. Hope everyone's having a great day. Sandy, honestly, I was going to get a PowerPoint presentation done, but everyone, if you've read the one thing, I have not been implementing the one thing in my life that well, yet there are a lot of opportunities in my life. So when I first started in real estate, for whatever reason, Sandy, we were just talking about this the other day, I actually enjoyed getting rejected by strangers more so than people that I knew, even though every great mentor agent told me that I needed to reach out to my database first. So I was doing FSBOs, expireds, and a lot of tough competitive listings. So in doing that, I wanted to do everything that any top agent was doing as far as their marketing material goes. That included Matterport 3D tours, aerial photos, videography, HDR photos. So I've done that on pretty much every listing I've ever had. And it was really painful because it's expensive to do that, or at least it used to be. So essentially, we have hired photographers who are younger, who are like intern photographers, and trained them in real estate photography with our other professionals and lowered the cost for everybody. So we do Matterport tours with the latest 4K 3D camera. We have the latest drone with 4K images as well for drone and aerial video and HDR photography. And our prices are 25 to 35% lower than 90% of our competitors. And if you have a competitor who does that at a lower price and you're with KW, we'll certainly match it. And we've already had a couple of agents who have had great experiences with us. And what we're working on, Sandy, for you is soon, and this product isn't finished, we are going to be able to make a single property website on command when you get a photography package for us. We have not finished that yet, but it will be something we have done in the next couple of weeks. So any photography package you get with us, you can have that option.
Travis,
So,
you're breaking up pretty bad right now.
I'm sorry, everybody.
And get
Right.
close to your microphone because you're a little far away.
Okay. All right.
There you
Well,
go.
so anyways, to end this, so you don't have to hear me pitch my thing anymore. You can look at our website, simplephoto.io, not .com. Just go to simplephoto.io, like us on Facebook, go on Instagram, and you can book directly on there. We have 2 full-time photographers, so we can get your your listing scheduled within 2 days at the max. And there's a 24-hour turnaround time. Like Sandy said, we're going to give away a free 3D Matterport tour. You can go to our website to see examples, and that's up to 3,500 square feet for free for whoever wins the raffle today. Again, if you have a photographer you use and are loyal to them, I completely get it. But if you're ever in a pinch and they can't get to a listing, when you procrastinate it like me, and you have to get the photos done the next day or the next couple of days, just reach out to Chris Rogers or I, or go to simplephotos.io. And I hope everyone has a great day and learns how to plan their calendar better than I did. The good thing is our photographers on our automated system, so they will be in the right place at the right time with their calendar. I love all of you guys. And as always, if I say this every time, if there's ever anything I can share from my systems or listings or whatever it is, so that I go up on a Wednesday and still make I'm out doing this, right? And networking with people, like, just please reach out to me and I'm happy to do that. And Chris, I was going to make Chris go up and do this today. And I love you, buddy. But seriously, all of you guys, like, the quality is there. We have the latest technology. And we're bringing it at really competitive prices. It's high volume, lower margins for us. So we're building a platform for real estate photography and 3D imaging. Hope everyone has an awesome day. Sandy, I think I pretty much covered everything, and I went longer even though I said I would. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Travis. We appreciate you. And Chris, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
Chris, get on there.
You hear me now?
Yeah, we
Good.
got you.
Okay. Yeah, just like Travis said, we're trying to be simple and affordable for everybody. And, we understand that when you take a listing and a seller wants it right away, that's why we have 2 photographers, and we plan on hiring like 2 or 3 more very soon. So, we're always going to be there for you. Like you said, if you have your own photographer to use, that's fine. But if you're ever in a pinch, we're here. Or if you want to try us out, it's always guaranteed work. If you don't like something, just let us know. We'll get it fixed. And yeah, look forward to working with y'all, helping you sell your listings. So.
Thanks, Chris.
100%.
Yeah.
Thanks, you.
And I'm super excited because I do know that Travis, they did the work behind the scenes to make sure that they were competitive. So you're going to find that this is the best pricing for all of those services, the Matterport and the video and all of the stuff that you're going to need to be better. Travis had mentioned that they were even going to be able to do the floor plans of the properties, right? So, and I'm sure that stuff's going to be add-ons. So go to simplephoto.io to see more, and then they're going to send us some pricing information that we'll attach to an email, and Taylor will send out later, and then she's going to put all of your names in a hat today, and then we're going to do the drawing at the end of the team meeting. But I just believe, and based on things that I've heard, that, you know, as an agent, part of what we have to be really great at here in the near future and moving forward is to up our game in our digital presentation. And this is going to help to do that at a reasonable cost. So give your fellow agents in the office a shot if you've got an opportunity to do so. And thank you very much, guys.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, Sandy.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
Hey, Travis and Chris, do you guys, I might have missed it.
Donna, you got to get closer to your microphone too. We're talking about trying to, yeah.
I'm sorry, you might have already talked about it, but do you guys do any type of like a video, a walk through the property?
Donna, we cannot hear you.
Oh, weird. Huh? Weird. All right. Then, if you can't hear me, I just,
Yeah, we can't hear you at all. So I'm not sure what's going on with microphone over there, but this is technology. If you could put that in the chat, we might be able to help you. Because we could not hear you at all. All right, anybody else have any questions for Chris or Travis? All right, I'm gonna screen share back and we will move through the rest of our presentation. Let's see.
Sandy, just one thing for the 2D floor plan. I'm sorry. Just make sure that takes like 24 to 48 hours of process, just if you're in a pinch and you list something last minute. And you have to get a Matterport tour to do the 2D floor plan. If any of you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly anytime. Exactly, we have Matterport, videography walkthroughs, aerial photos, any digital mark or any real estate photography or videography service. We have it with one person at one time, so it's easy for the seller. You don't have multiple people coming for the schedule, and we're getting them e-key access as well. So if it's vacant, you don't even have to go there, and they're going to be trained to stage the listing like you would, Sandy, where they move garbage cans out of the way, you know, maybe get a dish out of the sink. We're training them to do that as well. You know, it's kind of common sense, right? So to make sure those things aren't in the pictures, because it's from a listing agent perspective who's, you know, competed with, you know, top listing agents. So again, sorry the quality might have been bad from the sound. Hope everyone has a great day.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, and you guys know that they're right here in Suite 205, and so if you do have questions, you can walk down and shake them and get questions answered. Hey, Taylor. So I can't advance through my PowerPoint for some reason. Yeah, this is a technical day, right? So it says that I'm on slide 3 of 16, but that's slide 3 and it just won't show up. What's happening? I mean, I was able to move from the first 2, so I don't know what. Oh, there they are. Okay, so we want to welcome back several agents. Carrie Birch is back, Nicole is back, and Ashley McKenna is back.
It's not sharing.
Oh, I did. All right, now we're back to screen sharing. Everybody see that? So we're welcoming back Carrie Birch, Nicole and Ashley. Alberta has joined the commercial team, and Beth and Bev are also new agents joining us. So welcome to all. And the DTD2, we are on the weeks of B and E. So everybody should be talking to everyone in their database with the last names B and E. And if you don't have your database cleaned up, you should be cleaning up your database and adding birthday plans and home anniversary plans and smart plans to everybody in your database that has the letters B and E. These were the last 24 hours market watch stats. They are also attached to your agenda. And then this one is in the past 7 days. Let me move this over here. And in the past 7 days, and this is what we've been talking about for a very long time, you can see that there are 1,318 properties that were listed on the market, which is a substantial increase from the week prior. However, 1,933 have gone under contract and 829 have been sold. So substantially more properties are going under contract and selling that are coming to the market. And I shared those graphs with you guys in the morning huddle yesterday, and then Taylor sent them out, that were easy to share on Facebook to show that where the prices are still very high and the inventory is very low, and you're telling a story for potential sellers that it's an awesome time for them to still be in the market and sell. So if you need those graphs, or if you didn't see them, I know Tommy Camacho and Donna Hastings, they posted them. So they're out there on Facebook, and Taylor has them. She sent them out, but it's again, something that we definitely need to be talking about. So here are May awards, a two-way tie. And this is so exciting because these are folks that aren't normally on our top for individuals, Tommy Camacho and Shirley Sievers. So congratulations to those two. Volume goes to those same folks, which is awesome. Closed units, Anna Brumbaugh. So Anna, as everybody knows, was our top agent here in the month of May for our top-down report. And it's because she's closing units like crazy. She did hire a coach. She has a virtual assistant. If you guys want to have a conversation with her about upping your business to the next level, please do. And then a three-way tie for closed units, Pam, Barb, and Dan on number 2. Does not surprise you that the individual volume would be those same individuals that were on the closed units. Highest price listing, Tampa Commercial Group, 940,000. Those guys, they're working some deals with some of our single agents and doing great job. So if you have questions, if you've got people, you know, there's no reason that you can't ask everybody in your database if they have a need for commercial real estate, because we have a group that will assist them through that process. And obviously there's referrals in there, so jump in. Highest price closed sale was Greg Millar. Teams and groups, Tampa Commercial Group got that first one on the two-way tie. And then Mickey McKinnon, Surf Summit, go Mickey. And then listings taken, you can see that here, 2.5 million for Tampa Commercial. And Barb Ulrich, woohoo, just under $1 million. Go Barb. And then closed units, the dream team, that's Chris Rogers' team, with 5 units in the month of May. So that means during COVID in March and April, those boys were still working, right? They were putting properties under contract and getting closings on the books for the month of May to have closed those 5. And then 4 units each, Tampa Bay Team DJ, which is Anna and Christina Daring, and then the Hastings team. So just in that group alone, there's 13 units closed in the month of May. So, you know, again, these folks during this COVID, March and April, were still working, putting people under contract and getting closing dates for May in order to get those numbers. So congratulations, 1.4 million to the Home Dream team and just under $1 million for the Hastings team. Super proud of all of you guys for working through all of those months and continuing to do business. So you guys remember this guy? He was on our team meeting about 2 weeks ago, and it was awesome. And so he's doing a workshop that is going to be a 36 touch, and he's offering it for $49. Oh, I don't see details there, Taylor, but I think it's $49 for a workshop, and usually in person it's like $99. So he's doing a Zoom workshop there. And then Brindley is doing a workshop on Profit First. So please put that in your calendar. I know when the Profit First author spoke to us and when we really studied that, and now that time is more than ever, right, to make sure that you're putting money away for your profits and you're not spending all of your earnings as we go into this next quarter and half of year. So put those 2 things in your calendar. And then, so 3 p.m. today, we are going to have another training with Andrew on Facebook ads and how to create that ad and get that out there. And today is the last day to do that in the second set of stimulus. So you will be reimbursed the $30 if you do a Facebook ad and you turn in the screenshot by the 22nd of June, but the ad has to be placed by the end of the day today. So if you go on this call at 3 p.m., he'll actually walk you through how to create that ad. If you've created one and you're not getting the results that you think you'd like to, you might jump on that class too and ask those questions and review what you've already got out there, because you can stop your ad and restart it. This Facebook group, I forget how it came up, but we noted that there were a number of agents that had not joined Command Your Conversion. And this is Nick Baldwin. So I think everybody knows Nick Baldwin is doing exceptional things nationally and with Facebook ads. And this is what that means about commanding your conversion. So it's in command. You got to get your conversions of these Facebook leads up. So he has a Facebook page and he posts some of the greatest short videos on tips regarding getting the most out of your Facebook leads. So if you're not a member of that group, please join in. And then here are some other events that are coming up. Everybody knows about ubaldinitraining.com, right? So that is the training calendar for all 3 market centers. And you'll see there that all of our classes and the classes that are available to you in Tampa and in Clearwater are all there, easy to see. But so go on there at the beginning of the week. You can scroll through and see the whole week and put, plug some stuff in on your calendar that you'd like to attend. Does anybody have any questions or anything for me before I introduce our guest today? All right, everybody's doing good then. Nothing that we need to talk about. Anybody have any new listings that are coming to the market that have not yet been put into MLS that they want to have a quick chat about?
I have one, Sandy.
Yeah, go ahead, Anna.
So in my farm area, Bonnie Bay, northwest area of St. Pete, it's going to be a 3-2-1 corner lot. The homeowners are sent me pictures now of what they've done to it to get it show ready, and it's the cutest house. It's like 1,600 square feet. It's going to be priced at $270. Newer roof. It's really a cute house, and I don't think it's going to last very long. So getting everything signed today. We should be on the market within the next week or 2.
Awesome sauce, thank you. And Donna has just joined me in my office because something's going on with her microphone. So she wants to promote a listing. Step in.
Ran down the hallway to get here in time. So this property is in the MLS, but there's a good chance you might have missed it. The asking price is $650,000. It is a waterfront property in Bel Air on Sunset Bay, surrounded by multi-million-dollar properties. This house is in very bad condition. It will not get a mortgage. It will not pass a 4-point. The roof is leaking. The AC is not working. And the value is really in the land to rebuild. Somebody could gut and redo what's already there rather than having to tear down and rebuild. But if anybody has an investor or anybody with cash, I will be there tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Thursday. And the address is 39 Sunset Bay. It is listed in the MLS as a land and as a house. So thank you.
There you go. That's the worst pitch I've ever heard. It won't pass any 4-point. It's got a leaky roof. It's terrible. Don't even bring a buyer that needs a mortgage. What? No, but obviously that's because of the value is in the land. Appreciate that, Donna. Awesome sauce.
Sandy.
All right.
Sandy.
Oh, all right. Yes, go ahead.
I have some as well coming up.
All right.
A corner unit, Stan Key, and she has a slip. You have views of the Gulf and the Intercoastal. So, and that will be around 400. Should be up within the next 2 weeks. She's doing some repairs on the dock. I have another one in the Lake St. George neighborhood in Palm Harbor. That'll be around 200. That's a 3-2. Just taking care of, the handyman's taking care of some little things, and then that will be ready to go. I have another one that is near Hammock Park in Dunedin, another 3-2, and another where they're just taking care of little things with a handyman, and that one's ready. So I think that's it. Those all should be up within like the next 2 weeks.
So I just love the fact that you have 3 listings coming on the market, which means over the last 6 weeks, you've been working your fanny off, even during COVID. Susan is spectacular at social media and community groups and has been doing a fantastic job at staying active with those groups during this time, right? And so that's the relationship building. And obviously that's paid off since she has 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 listings coming soon. So congratulations and thank you. So if you need any further details on that, just reach out to Susan. Anybody else have anything that they've got coming up on the market that they'd like to share?
Sandy, I have some.
Yep.
So I have 3 properties as well that are coming on the market in the next like week to 3 weeks. One is in Sand Key. It's a condo 2-2 at the Sand Key South Beach property. It faces the intercoastal, has intercoastal and Gulf view. That's going to be on the market. It's a 2-2 on the market for about $450. There's a little starter home in Largo. It's a 2, could be a 3-bedroom house if someone wanted to convert the space into a 3rd bedroom. It's going to be on the market for about $220, $225. It's a 1,600 square foot 3-2, not too far from Largo Mall. And then the 3rd one is a 4-3 in Seminole in a nice community of CO that has a pool. It's about 2,400 square feet all on one level, and it'll be on the market in the low 5s.
Awesome sauce. So again, right, Dan, I know for a fact has been doing the work, right? He's not only doing the work, but he's hosting the group on script and role play practice. And I see him on the lead gen calls, right? So he's doing the 5 things that are your job when you are a real estate agent. That's lead generate, lead follow up, go on appointments, negotiate contracts, and script and role play practice. And therefore, during this COVID, when a lot of people haven't been doing much, he has 3 listings coming to the market. So the market is out there and it's to be had. We just have to do the activities and not just show up to classes and such. So make those calls. That's an awesome job, Dan. I'm so excited to hear that. Thank you for sharing. Does anybody else have anything they want to share?
I have one more, which clearly to get on Susan and Dan's level, I need an additional 2 to have 3.
So this is competitive Anna. I think her middle name is competitive if you didn't know Anna. So
Little bit.
immediately now she's like, no, I have one more. Wait, no, I have one more, at least one more.
At least
Go
one
ahead,
more.
Anna.
It's around the corner from the office. It's a single family 3-2-2, huge vaulted ceilings. It's going to be going on the market at $220. So great price point around the corner from the YMCA, right around the corner from the office here. So yeah, we should be going on the market in the next week or 2. So if you have anybody, let me know, because these sellers are like, get us out of here. We both are working from home now and they're upgrading. So let me know if you have a buyer.
So we've talked a lot about that too, right? That people's needs right now have changed and their priorities have changed. And even in the last 3 weeks, so people that you talked to 6 weeks ago or 10 weeks ago when we first started with COVID, you need to talk to again now because forbearance, mortgage payments due, now the kids are going to be home longer. You may have been actually asked to stay home for a longer period of time for your work. I mean, needs have changed and priorities have changed. And we've heard a lot of that about people who are changing their living environment because of the stuff that they've been through. So reach out to your people again every day, but reach out, even if you've done it in the past, you got to stay on that and continue to talk to those people. Anybody else have anything that they want to bring to the party?
So guys, I have some small ones. I have one investor for 90,000 looking for an investment property, another small one for 100,000 investment property. I have another buyer looking for a condo to purchase as soon as possible for 300,000. He wants every area in Pinellas except downtown Dunedin. And then I gave a listing to commercial guys for 460.
Okay, awesome sauce. And again, Michael, congratulations for out there doing it, just new to the business during COVID and still, 3 buyers and a commercial opportunity because he's just doing all the right stuff. So thank you. I appreciate all of you. Anybody else have anything that they want to bring to the party? All right, good. So is Judy Post on? Oh, Judy.
Hi, I'm here.
All right. Hi, love. How are you?
Hi. Good. Nice to see you.
Good. All right. Let me quit screen sharing. And you guys, if you want full view of Judy and her living room, are you at home today?
No, I'm in my office.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'll be darned.
Messy, beautiful.
So Judy was doing so much business in the neighborhood of Gulf Harbors, right? Gulf Harbors waterfront. She lives there. A building came up on the corner of US 19 and the drive-in to Gulf Harbors. And so she snatched up the building and then hung her sign. And so she is considered a mega agent office for Keller Williams. So she's tied to the Clearwater office, but she has her own office as you turn into Gulf Harbors, which is her community of waterfront properties where she lives, where she has friends, and where she farms and has lots of past clients. So to have a building as every of those neighbors turn in, do you think that's helping her business any? Yeah, pretty crazy. So she's got lots of wealth and information to share about waterfront and selling and buying those properties. So take it away, Judy. And you guys feel free to unmic and ask questions and or put questions into the chat, and we'll monitor that and make sure that those questions get answered. So this should be interactive. So be sure if you've got questions for Judy, just ask away. Go ahead, Judy.
Well, I am going to see if I can share my screen here. Well, I don't know if I can.
Oh,
maybe I can.
Taylor,
can you show you? This is my building. It's an artist rendition, obviously, but this is the building. And I did have a picture here somewhere. I thought I'd saved that is the real thing. But in any case, yes, that's my building. And I'm in love with this building. And so I'm very happy and grateful that I have it. And I'm also still waiting for, I'm definitely wanting to increase my market share in this neighborhood. It's my passion. And I'm working now on a deal with Barbara, and we're both learning together. Even there's always something more to learn about waterfront and the exciting things about it. I'm not sure, exactly how I can add value here today, but I do have a presentation that I just gave at your office not too long ago, but most of you couldn't make it. So I was thinking that I would just sort of breeze through this presentation in double time or triple time, and then at the end take questions, unless someone has anything they want to ask me right off the top, or burning questions or anything specific that you wanted me to cover.
I just want to tell you congratulations on your location. I used to live in Gulf Harbors on Leeward Lane.
Oh yeah.
And I know a ton of people.
I know you. Haven't we met?
Maybe. I had 3 houses on Leeward Lane.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I rented them all out, but
nice street. I'm on Pilots, 1 block away.
I know Pilot's place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew all the owners at the end of the cul-de-sac down there, and I'm happy to see I'm happy to see the restaurant reopening as well. That's gonna be a big plus.
Yeah, that's big, exciting news.
Yeah, you have a great location there. It's #1 location.
I do. I live it. I love it. I sell it. That's my logo. That's my slogan.
Yeah, it's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. So I'll just share my presentation here. I've never done this before on a Zoom, so I apologize. I'm not sure how to get this thing full screen. Oh, there it is.
So, and no apologies necessary, because this is how you're practicing on us and not your clients. Because if there's going to be a seller from Canada that wants to see a presentation from you, now you're going to be versed. So this is all good.
Uh-oh. It's now sharing my video. So I didn't want to do that. But thank you, Sandy. All right. So let me see if I can figure out how to. Oh, there it is. It was working.
Don't hesitate to share your banking information.
All right. My social security number. There you go. Okay, so I've been selling waterfront here for about 20 years. I've lived in Gulf Harbors for 20 years. Yes, I own multiple waterfront properties, now just 2, but we do boating. We were talking about Leeward. This is Leeward right here. No, that's Pilots. This is Pilots where I live, and this is where Michael lived. That's Leeward, and this is the Gulf of Mexico. So you can see when my boat's somewhere around here, we go out here down the North Channel, and we're out. It's literally on the Gulf, and this is a private beach right here in our neighborhood, and it's just a fantastic place to live if you like boating and living on the water and all those things. I'll say this with a little bit of tongue in cheek, but not too much. You got to have a good, strong liver. No one's laughing, but you're muted maybe, huh?
They're muted, but I think they get it,
All
right?
You can laugh
But
for me,
that's-
Sandy.
Yeah, that's when you live in one of those
My neighborhood,
communities.
I didn't think
The
that was
first
just my
time, yeah, here's why you have to have a good, strong liver. Here's one reason. This is a picture of our sandbar, but that was before Irma. But the point is on this screen is to say, know who you're selling to, because if you're selling, I mean, my class is really more about waterfront, where you have a dock and a seawall and a boat in your backyard. And you really, many buyers, they have a dream of waterfront, but what do they really mean? And so that's the bottom line about what this point is what's really important to them, because they're really buying the water, aren't they? That the water is more important than the house. They may talk about the house all day long, and there may be certain things or features, benefits, and they got to have this or they got to have that on the house. But really, most of the value is in the actual water, the view, the location. How much water do they have? How close is it to the Gulf? What kind of boat can they have in there? What kind of amenities are available? In Gulf Harbors, we have the private beach, and a lot of people come here, even on our interior lots, because they want to have access to that beach. And especially, we never realized it, how important that was until COVID-19, where all the Florida beaches were closed except ours. The Gulf Harbors private beach remained open with strict social distancing guidelines, supposedly. But anyway, it did remain open because it was private, and the directors of the board of directors can make that decision. So anyway, it's all about the water. That's what we always say. It's all about the water. So this is where your buyer consultation skills need to come in. And even if you're selling the beach, now I've never really worked over there. So you guys know a whole lot more. You could teach me a class on waterfront condos, in Treasure Island, or, all that type of thing. But, I'm sure the same standard applies. It's like, what's the view? What are the amenities? How much frontage how easy is it for me to get to the places I want to go? That's what it's all about, right? The next thing is really important, especially if you're talking about one of these single-story homes. I typically sell single-story pre-firm homes. Does everyone know what pre-firm means? And anyone not know? Is anyone raising their hand?
No, please tell us.
What is it?
Pre-firm, firm stands for flood insurance rate map. And so these homes, these one-story homes in flood zones, were all built prior to the implementation of the FEMA flood maps, okay? And there are different insurance rates for those. They're grandfathered in. And I found in my experience that it's definitely not, how to handle a pre-firm home is very different than handling a post-firm home, where you need an elevation certificate, where and the height of the house, the level that it's above base flood elevation is going to affect the rate. With these pre-firm homes, an elevation certificate's not needed. It's only going to get you into trouble, because trust me, that home is below base flood elevation, and if you get a quote based on your elevation certificate, it's going to be like 10 times higher than a grandfathered in quote. So it's really important to know that. In Pinellas, I know it's true as well. The flood maps have just been remapped. Anyone heard about that? But in Gulf Harbors, there's different flood zones, right? Most commonly it's X, we love that one, no flood zone, but you won't find that in the water. A, which is like a medium, okay, it's a flood zone, but V, like Victor, velocity is the one that you will pay the most for. If your home or your building is located in a V zone, you pay the most because the insurance companies consider those properties the highest risk, and they're typically right Gulf front. They have a lot of exposure. But here in Gulf Harbors, we had a lot of homes on interior canals that were still rated V. And I really think this is a miracle of God or something for FEMA to change their mind. But they have remapped it, and many of the homes here that were currently in a V zone are now in an A zone, which saves them about 75% on their flood insurance. It's significant. It's way more than double, so if you're working with a property that is, I honestly don't know how it affects condos. But I'm sure on a condo, if it happens to be, more interior, not in rated V, or the flood map change, let's say it's on the intercoastal instead of being directly on the Gulf, check with your insurance broker. Did the flood map change? Is it now an A? Because the flood insurance rates are going to go down substantially. One of the things I do when I list a home in a flood zone, I just have a habit of it. Even if I check and see if the owner has a flood, current flood policy, and look at it. And a lot of the homes around here are owned free and clear. So if you're a lot of the sellers or owners, if they own their house free and clear, they don't buy the flood insurance. They'd rather self-insure, as it were. And so that in that case, I definitely get a flood quote from one of my favorite insurance brokers. So I put that right in the listing and attachments, because it's going to be the first question the buyer asks. They're always asking, what's the flood insurance? Homeowners insurance does vary as well, but homeowners insurance has a lot more variables. So it's, you may want to, okay, here's a homeowner's quote, but you have no idea what deductible they're going to check, how many contents, does it qualify for any wind mitigation, or other types of discounts. So I don't really mess with trying to get a homeowner's quote that much, but flooding quotes are pretty consistent, and easy to get. So I put one in every one of my listings that's in there. The other point I was going to make is if the homeowner does have a flood quote, I can use that. I ask them for a deck page and I use it, unless I look at it and I know it's wrong. Let's say it's in a flood zone, it's in an A flood zone, and they're paying, like 3 times as much as what I know to be the standard. I'm like, why are you paying so much? You really should contact, this insurance guy, and because he can save you a lot of money. And I don't even put that in the, I don't quote that to a customer because I know they can get it much less. Does that make sense? So insurance, especially flood insurance, is a big deal when you're selling waterfront. Any questions on that?
No, so I think what, the big takeaway there is just to do your homework, right? And so in our office, Florida Best Quote, we have John Gonos, and if you run into a waterfront buyer or seller and you have that need, always engage him in these conversations, because he'd be happy to help you with that.
See if you send us the...
Yeah, and that's great. And then the next point I wanted to make is, if you're selling waterfront, especially boating water, if you're just looking at pretty water, I guess, there's not as many determining factors of what would make it valuable or important to that buyer. But I mean, this works for listing too. So if you're taking a listing in a flood zone, these are also in the waterfront, it's really helpful to know this stuff. What's the depth of the water? If you're working with a buyer who has a boat and they want to know if their boat can get in and out at certain times of day, or can they go out 24/7, or do they have to wait for low tide? Those are important things to learn, and it's based, if you don't know the language, it's the amount of water, or how deep the boat actually goes into the water is called the draft. So if you're working with a buyer who has a boat and they want to know about, water access, you need to know the draft of that boat. How much draft do you take? And you take 4 feet? Oh boy. Okay, we better look and make sure that with the shallow Gulf of Mexico, that you can get in and out 24/7 with that much of a draft. Does that make sense?
How would you get that information, Judy? Who would provide you with the depths of the actual waterway?
Well, hopefully the seller knows, Or you can call a local marine places. You could call me, you know, call a boat captain, they know. Or you can rent a boat and go out there and check it out yourselves, you know. Rent a boat with a depth finder, or find a friend, even better. Friends with boats. That's much more reasonable way to get out there.
Hey, Judy.
Yes.
Yeah, Judy, the Coast Guard also can give you maps to show you depths of the water.
Okay, that's a great advice. That's fantastic. And make sure they're current, because they're always changing, especially after a storm, or, you know, the sand moves around and changes that too. But that's great advice. Thank you. And so again, just like anything, know your water. If you're selling the water, make sure you know it. I can't tell you how many times people have purchased homes here in Gulf Harbors, and it's getting better now, but they think they can have a certain type of boat, or they think they have certain access, and turns out they don't. So, and that, who does that come back on? You know, so know your stuff. Just a little staging tip. I mean, when I stage a house on the water, I mean, it's amazing how many people like put their sofa facing away from this window, for example, or, you know, they got a bookshelf there blocking the view. It's time to move that bookshelf. You know, that's fine if you want to live that way, but the buyers will walk into that house and walk straight to that water. They won't even see if there's a kitchen, you know. They want to know what's the water, what's the view. So that's the main point of that slide. And then some terms we were going to go over here that are important to know, especially when you're selling a home with a dock. This dinosaur here is called a davit. Some people call it a lift. In the MLS, they don't have a notation for a davit, because in, you know, when these houses were built, these little one-story houses were built here in Gulf Harbors and all over our coastline. This was the lift. They had davits, and they do work, but they are dinosaurs, and they're, you know, a buyer today wouldn't really consider that a lift. Okay, they may, but they really want one of these down here, right? And so this is a lift, and buyers really want to know what the weight of the lift is. A lot of times a seller isn't even sure, especially if they didn't put the lift in themselves and they bought it from someone else. So my tip to you on that is always use that language. Seller says, you know, according to seller, lift is 10,000 pounds. I remember one time I put in a listing that it was a 10,000 pound lift because the seller told me that, and the buyer put his 10,000 pound boat or 9,000 pound boat on the lift, and it fell. And come to find out, it was 7,500. And so I was very nervous for a long time. And he proceeded not to sue me, yay. But those kind of lessons you don't want to learn the hard way.
No, for sure.
Be very careful about quoting that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people, if you know, I want to tell you another thing. Are there any home inspectors on this call?
No.
Most home inspectors, in my experience, don't know anything about lifts. I mean, I'm sure there's some that do, that maybe work a lot in the waterfront communities, but I can't tell you how many home inspectors have made judgments on lifts and even actually damaged controls because they don't know how to lower and raise them correctly, what the light switches. So I would just say, if you're selling a home like this, it's probably pretty important to make sure the home inspector has some briefing on how to operate the lift if they're going to test it.
And I also think that you
makes
can
sense?
have an actual dock and / lift person come to an inspection, just like sometimes your home inspector is not the best guy for leaks for the pool. And if your buyer is really concerned that there's a leak for the pool, your inspections period is not just for the home inspector. It's for anybody that you want to inspect: a mold guy, a sewer guy, a lift guy, a pool guy, you're a roof guy, right? So your buyers should be making that decision. Stay in your lane and have them make the decision. If they've got questions that you can't answer and the seller can't answer, you should then just be suggesting a professional during inspections period.
Yeah, that's great advice. get a marine contractor to come and evaluate the dock, see what it needs. These last a long, long time, especially if they're treated, like this homeowner painted it or stained it. And that's kind of, protects it from, these are wood. A more upscale dock would have a plastic covering or be made with that, what's that hardy board? It's not hardy board, but there's
Trex.
even a PVC
Trex.
type. Pardon me?
It's called Trex.
The Trex is really good decking on these things, and it's a PVC type material that lasts a long time. And also these pilings do last a very long time, but you can tell if they haven't been wrapped in plastic, sometimes they are wrapped, those last longer because, the sea life, the barnacles, the oysters like to cling to these, and they help along with the salt water wear them out over time. And they're not cheap to replace, that's for sure. But the most expensive thing in putting in a piling is drilling. So if you've got the drilling in there, I think this looks like a Trek, right, or something similar. But if you've got those pilings already drilled in, it won't cost as much to replace as drilling a new one. We have rocky bottoms here. It's very, and sometimes they have to actually blast or drill. They break drill bits, and all of those things add to cost. So this is a floating dock. I see this one is on some kind of a pole, so it moves up and down. But because the tides go in and out twice a day, every day, constantly moving, a floating dock is almost every house has one around here. Especially if you don't have a boat lift, because otherwise you might have quite a jump. If you have your boat docked here at this stationary dock, it's not going up and down. You could have a 6-foot jump to get down on your boat, right? So, but these are all types of docks too: stationary, floating, the davits in the lift. This is something you may sometimes interior lots have these mooring lots. When in Gulf Harbors here, several homes have deeded mooring lots, or it could actually be separately deeded and sell separately from the home. These are great if you don't have a home on the water, because this is a lot right here. You could put a dock here, and you're just right around the corner. Whoop, that's the North Channel, go right out.
And you guys see that a lot in Safety Harbor, when you drive down and there's the mooring lots across the way and the homes are on the opposite side of that street, right? So there's lots of places that have that around here too.
Yeah, they don't sell that much, but when they do come on the market, they usually do sell pretty quickly, because they really are nice to have if you are you're nearby this community and you want to have your boat in the water, and you don't have a house with a dock behind you. So, whoops. Another way I get to move this screen, I didn't know. Then we have something that Barbara and I become very familiar with here in the last few weeks, but this thing's called a seawall. Not all houses on waterfront or even homes with docks actually have seawall. These are man-made. They're man-made concrete walls. This picture is a little bit far away, but I think it has something along the shoreline. I can see it over on this one here too. It's called riprap. Riprap is like basically chunks of concrete, or it could be bricks or stones that are laid and help provide additional support to the seawall. It could be, and they're poured in using like a frame, like a contractor, seawall contractor will frame in the this area here between the lot and the water, and then pour the concrete in, and then they have things called tiebacks that go in to the earth here and hold it back. Anchors, they also is a term that they use to make sure that seawall's not going anywhere. And then this stone and brick and stuff you may see along the seawall is called riprap. And that does help protect it and make it longer lasting. Another thing about seawalls is that they have a certain lifespan for sure, but it is not something that is the same depending on where the seawall is and how much stress it's under. So if you have a seawall on the Gulf, you know, on a Gulf front home, and you're facing all the winds and the tides and the pushing of the water each and every day, storms that come through. The wear and tear on that seawall is going to be much, it goes through a whole lot more, and it's going to wear out sooner than somebody that's on an interior canal somewhere back in here, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
And
all of that comes into, and this is just another contractor that you can hire to come out and give you an evaluation when you're selling one of these homes.
Yeah, for sure. So we are 2 minutes to 1 o'clock. And so if you have to jump off, I know our meeting is usually over at 1, but Judy, do you have a few more minutes to?
I do. I'll move faster. I want to tell you about riparian rights. These are really important. A riparian right is this is right from the county language. Don't try to read that, but I can send you this if you like. But what it says is the owner of this house here, where I'm pointing to, has the right. They don't own this water. This is public land, but they have the right to use it for up to 1/3 of the canalway. All right, that's your riparian right. You get 1/3 of this water. So he could literally build a back, depending on the. This is a wider canal. Let's say it's 200 feet, but what's 1/3 of 200? Let's just say 65, you know, 68 feet. He could literally build a huge, look at how wide that lot is. He could build a big dock out here and be perfectly within his right. It's 1/3 of the way into the canal or the waterway. But on the corner here, it's different because you can't just go right 1/3 this way. You're going to bump into this guy, right? So when it comes to riparian rights, it goes from the corner. Like this one goes out this way, and you can see how their boats here and their docks are angled. They followed right along that line. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So there's their waterway. So when you're on a corner lot like this, you do have to share that corner with your neighbor. Make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's something in here that says, I mean, the thing is, you cannot, this very last sentence, you can't project a distance great enough to reduce the navigable channel within a canal to a width less than 12 feet. So you can't always go out 1/3 of the way if this navigable channel is less than 12 feet wide. Does that make sense? So that's just a little thing about riparian rights is really important to know if you're selling homes with docks. And that's another example. And thank you for attending.
So yeah.
Quick questions.
Yeah, that's just such great information, right? Because we know that we're going to come up against some of that stuff. And now you at least have a broad overview of what you should be looking out for and what you might have to go get an expert for or call Judy about, because she's amazing and would point you in a direction or give you some tips on that.
I'd be glad to help if I can.
Yeah, she's awesome. So anybody have any other specific questions regarding the waterfront and any of that?
Tammy's asking something about wind.
I think in the chat, let me look and see what was in the chat.
But I can answer Jen on sailboat water. Sailboat water means there's no obstructions. Be very careful that you're not selling them a house that there's a narrow, a low bridge that they have to go under if there's a sailboat. And we have a section of the neighborhood like that in Gulf Harbors. It's really important to know that there's no bridges or things that you have to go under. And then also sailboats typically have a longer draft. So sailboats typically have the longest draft, 4 or 5 feet draft. So it has to really be sure you've got deep enough water and that there's no obstacles in selling seawalls. And I did cover, seawalls, I'm reading her.
Yeah. And then Dennis was saying neighbors. So seriously, you know, if you're selling a waterfront home and you don't know much about that waterway and your seller might not, you go knock on the neighbor's door, right? I mean, that's not a unreasonable thing to say, hey, I'm selling your neighbor's house and I got a couple of questions, right? Usually the neighbors want to talk to you. You should be door knocking anyway, right? So
don't always believe them though. I'll give you that. Don't always
but it'll point you in the direction of things that you need to start asking about. So-and-so said this, can I verify that that's true? So just having those conversations in the community, especially if you're going to farm an area like Judy does, where you really want to get to know all of those people. So that's awesome news too.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay, well, I'm super, super excited to announce that, ready, drum roll, please. Lindsay Wolf is the winner of the Matterport video from our new sponsor. So Lindsay Wolf, get with Travis Lockett and Chris Rogers about your free video.
Nice.
Yeah,
Right.
good deal, right? All right, you guys, does anybody else have anything that they want to add? We will share Judy's contact information. You know, and if you are uncomfortable with a property that's up in Pasco County that is on a waterway up there, refer to Judy and take a referral fee, right? Not always is it in our best interest to, you know, to buy or sell properties that aren't within our bailiwick. We can sometimes serve our people better by taking a referral fee. So, you know, certainly, or team up with Judy, right? So she would share a commission because you were going to partner on a listing that's up in a neighborhood like that. So she's in our KW family, so be sure to reach out if you need her. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.